Welcome to News from the Crabby Coffee Shop with your hosts, Don McClain from Jason and Alexis in the Morning on My Talk 1071, Garage Logic's newsman, Mr. FYI, John Haidt, and the crabbiest guy in the coffee shop, Kenny Olson.
Don't fade that out. We're going to let it play all the way out. Who do you guys want to rip first today? The IT department or jackasses that hang signs from overpasses?
Ooh. The signs from overpasses always get me because I don't think that has ever changed one person's vote or thought on anything.
If you hang a sign of any kind from a pedestrian bridge or a regular overpass, you are a jackass.
You're causing people to wreck their cars. Is that why?
You're causing delays and slowdowns and wrecks, and we don't care. We don't care. It's not like Ross said. It's not going to change anybody's vote.
Yeah.
Just
we
shut
don't care
up.
what you what you think.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
just shut
political
up.
stuff?
Yeah, this morning there was something up on 694 at Shingle Creek, and it was "Wake up, Minnesota!" Blah 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 blah. I couldn't even read it.
Wake up.
I
That's
don't
always
care.
a nice way to
I don't
say it.
care what side they're on. Yeah. That's always the "We're smart, you're stupid. Wake up, smell the manure." And then I guess it happened again on the strip this morning or yesterday. I don't know. I'm getting tweets, and it's just stop that behavior, you idiots.
Well, this is a good time to announce that one day I do plan to run for governor, and my platform will be very common sense about things that common sense people care about.
Like what?
Well, if you are spotted with one of those signs or given a ticket or a citation, your first offense that is punishable by 3 weeks or 3 days in the county jail.
Yeah.
Just like the first time you are busted for not using your signal, it's a warning. The next time it's a weekend in jail, then a week, and then a month and a year.
Can I amend that just a little bit?
Yep.
You're in county jail, but you're stark naked. You don't get to wear clothes. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, extra humility.
Just keep hopping.
There's just some things we can do to clean up this place by just simply putting people in jail for a weekend, and they'll learn their lesson.
How about stocks? Remember that? They'd lock you in a stock in the village square. Let's bring that back.
Yeah,
and again,
embarrassment.
stark
Yeah,
naked.
exactly.
Stark naked. And let people smack your fat ass, your pimpled fat ass.
That creates quite the picture, Kenny.
Your fat ass.
Did you just say it was pimply too?
Pimply, yeah.
A little back knee, a little butt acne.
The kind that's ready to burst, too. The big pumpkins. Yeah. Some bitches. Stop that.
I'm weird. I love political season because I do love the ads because I think on both sides they're all pure. Oh, I think they're all pure comedy. You watch them for the comedy, not for actually trying to get anything from them.
But it's sad that people believe in it. Only half the story. It
There's-
doesn't matter which side.
There's some really great ones out right now that just make me giggle every time
Ross,
I see them.
They're all awful. How do we get word to YouTube? I have discovered the vast amount of programming on YouTube, and I've signed up to follow or I've subscribed to some accounts. And one of my favorite ones is Vice Grip Garage, and he's got over 1 million subscribers, so the commercials are just non-stop. And it's Walls and Kistner and Sandy and
You can
Marjorie.
do YouTube Premium.
Yeah, that's costing me money, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
you have to pay for not seeing the
I'm not
ads.
paying, no.
As we discussed before this podcast, none of us have money.
Oh, right. What are we talking about?
No, I'm not doing that. But anyway, I want to get a message to YouTube. I don't listen. As soon as your thing comes on, I hit the mute, and the only thing I focus on the screen is
Where the X is.
this will end in 4 seconds or whatever. So as soon as it comes on, and even if it's an ad designed specifically for me, Kenny, here's a wonderful dirt bike that we're going to give you for free. No, not interested. Next, stop, delete. Anyway, let's do a show here.
This, I want to let the
so
listeners
crabby
in.
today.
Well, there we go. I'm glad you said it. I want to let the listeners in just a little bit. This might be the crabbiest edition of the Crabby Coffee Shop. Kenny is crabby. John, one of the world's nicest people, is mildly crabby.
He is. He was going after you.
Dawn came in and started sending barbs at me.
It's freezing in here.
And
then you go, this is the first time I've come in here and I haven't started sweating.
Okay, for the record, I do not set the temperature in this studio.
How do I change it?
I'll change it for you. I'll turn it up. You guys,
oh my God, it's so cold.
You guys go back to your little show. I'm going to work on the temperature for the princess over here.
Princess!
Wow, now Ross is crabby too.
It's 74 degrees outside. It doesn't mean that it's 100. No, we don't have to have it at 52 degrees.
Dawn, I need some advice here.
Yeah.
Do I say anything about IT or not?
No.
What's the reason I'm so crabby?
Okay, I know. But that's a real person that has taken on a huge job by coming here.
And I might add, a very, very nice person.
Super nice, super personable. And it really isn't that person's problem. It's the fact that we didn't do this for like 10 years. This has been out for so long.
My life is in shambles right now. If you need to talk to me, or if I need to talk to you, I can't get a hold of you. I have no idea how I managed to get a hold of you this morning, Dawn.
Yeah.
But you had to send all this stuff to my personal account because my work emails are gone and my contacts are gone.
At this point, we have to send Kenny notes in the mail or via fax to get.
And I'm talking on my phone.
Yeah. Well, it happened to me, just so you know, when I did this merge over to the new thing, it happened to me for like 24 hours and then they came back.
Oh,
but some of my notes were gone, and they were really important ones. Like I do a lot of notes, the notes section of my phone on my iPhone.
Yeah,
gone forever. No idea.
This IT person that you're talking about, I legitimately do believe is a rock star, and we'll get it figured out. So we just.
And then I have a tight schedule because I'm doing 3 shows today,
right.
And then after 2:00 I have to be out of here because there's people coming into work, and so okay, never mind.
You don't have time.
This? Go ahead, Kenny.
He really is upset.
Go, John.
Well, is this? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Is this something I should know about?
It's because you admitted to us you don't even check your work email.
Well, I'm looking.
We're
right
migrating.
Now.
It's called the migration.
Did I get a message? I missed
look for notes where the subject line is migration, and it should be a kick in the balls. That's what the subject should be.
Yeah.
I'll check for that. I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know how to feel about this story that you sent, Dawn, that I kind of love, but I kind of feel it's directed at me.
I don't. Oh, are you one of these people?
Well, in Minneapolis, I had a tiny little 2-car garage detached that was obviously made for Model A's. I mean, a short little thing. And I only owned 2 vehicles that I could get in there. But eventually that garage turned into a shop. And for the 20, 30, 80 million years I lived there, I had to park outside. But I had a wonderful shop. But I know. Let's do the story first and then talk about it.
Okay. It's called Take Back Your Garage. American garages store more clutter than cars. Craftsman did a survey. It says that 36% of Americans say their garage is so cluttered that they can no longer park their vehicles inside. Over 3 in 5, 62% surveyed feel their garage is the most cluttered space in their home. More than half of adults surveyed say use their garage or at-home workshop for DIY projects. And 90% of Americans believe that a well-organized garage can make a small garage appear larger.
Right.
I just think, this is my thought, I want to help them.
Oh.
When I see somebody lift up their garage, I do judge them. Because I'm like, you can't fit your car in there. That's probably the most, outside of your house, your most valuable possession.
Absolutely.
That you're putting at risk to get broken into and or hail damage or whatever, be stolen, and it's outside.
Yeah.
And it's because I've lived in apartments so much in my life that I didn't have a garage. And so I just wanted a garage so much in those times that I would,
There's a natural evolution, and I can't explain why it happens, but when I bought this place in 2005, number of, including a 50 by 100 shed, and a couple of barns and a couple of detached garages and buildings. They were all empty. And now they are jam-packed full, and I don't know where this S comes from.
You don't even know what's in there, probably.
A lot of times, yeah. Had some relatives over from California, and they went through one of these, and they're amazed at the stuff in there. And I'm like, oh, really? Really? Like there's an old horse buggy in there and a covered wagon and all this crap from the turn of the century. You're like
American Picker's dream.
Yeah. Oh, if they come down my driveway, they're going to be met by Old Smoky. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. You don't like that show. Those guys take people advantage of people.
Anybody else right now picturing Kenny and the roommate dressing up in old-timey clothes, riding into town on the horse and buggy for a Friday night dinner?
And, well, here's the deal, Ross. It's a family heirloom.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I can't, even if I wanted to sell it, I'm not going to get $1,000 for it. So there it sits.
I know it's tough to get rid of some of that stuff, but speaking in general, do you once or twice a year do you and the roommate or just anybody on the pod here, do you go around your place or garage maybe once or twice a year and look for stuff you no longer need or can get rid of?
There should be a national throw out.
Because I do that, and it's very helpful.
Throw out your S day. They should give everybody a Monday off. And if you don't contribute to the trash pile, you get put in the public stock with your naked fat ass sticking out in the air. There should be punishment for not getting rid of your crap.
We've talked about this. There's a town like Fridley or something that does that, like put your stuff out on the lawn day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or it's a week of trash hauling.
It was New Hope. And
New Hope.
Yeah, my people scored some really cool things.
You're collecting more stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I found an old Minneapolis Moline that once belonged to my great uncle. And I paid way too much for it. The engine stuck, but I had to have it because it was his. It's got a sticker on it where it was bought from a shop my grandpa owned. So I've got two family ties to this stupid old 49 Minneapolis Moline with a stuck engine. I drug it. I had him bring it home. Paid too much. Paid $500 for it. It's worth $100, right?
Yeah.
But I had to have it. Mm-hmm. Now it's sitting there, and I'll never ever do anything with it. So I'm going to end up giving it away for nothing, and it's going to be a $500.
What about your son?
Well, he doesn't. He lives in a house with 3 other party maniacs in northeast Minneapolis.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when you pass it down, you know what I mean?
Why would I? That would be a curse.
So you want to get rid of it to unburden him?
Yeah, but I need to get rid of that and everything else. This 50 by 100 shed was empty when I moved in. I actually rented it out for a few years to a guy till I started accumulating crap.
50 by 100?
That's pretty big.
Yeah,
that's
it's
big.
giant.
My storage unit is 10 by 10, and I feel
it's
sick
an
about
arena.
It.
It's an arena. You could put in. My son and I were joking. We could put in a flat track in there, and we could race motorcycles all winter long.
Oh my gosh! And it's filled with stuff.
Tractors, boats, crap, wood, implements, decoys, old S that I've bought that I thought that I need, and now it sits in the corner.
You know what's bad, Kenny? As you get older, I'm older than you guys. This is going to get worse in your mind. Because right now I'm to the point, I am, yes. I'm to the point where I want to get rid of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get it. You were making fun of me.
I wasn't. I'm not.
I missed it.
Have any of you had a relative or a family member pass away and you have to deal with their crap?
No, but I've had friends that have had to do, and it's overwhelming. They just do an estate sale, and then it's like people are going through your house, and it's like heartbreaking because you're like, they're just picking around, like, take what you want. Or,
I've had to leave auctions of dead friends of mine because it's just so disheartening to me to see all of their cool stuff being picked over and then bought for nothing.
We've got to get rid of our stuff.
Yeah. So I've kind of been on a mission, and I've been trying to tell the roommate what's valuable and what's not. But I think it's up to me because there's a good chance I won't wake up tomorrow, and she's going to be stuck with all this crap.
I know. Truly. I had a friend who, she came from a pretty well-to-do family. She was in a sorority in college, and her house caught on fire. Like her little house that she was renting.
Yeah.
And it wasn't her fault, she wasn't responsible, but everything burned. And she was like, I feel so good.
Yeah,
I was just
start
thinking.
over.
She was like, I was sad for a day, but then I thought, oh my God, I just had my backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don GL, we've got a family, husband and wife couple that 10 years ago, they sold absolutely everything except for some clothes. And they've been traveling the world ever since.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. They don't buy souvenirs, I take it.
No, nothing. No. All they have is their clothes.
And they just I have too many books.
Yeah.
And I hate packing them. Every time I move, I'm like, oh my God, here we go with the books.
Yeah.
You
I've probably gotten rid of 300 books in the last year because, like I said, I'm trying to get rid of everything. So they go to Goodwill or wherever.
Yeah.
I
just want to say something.
So much stuff.
There's so much stuff. And I want to comment on your camera right now behind you.
Yeah.
You see so much stuff, John.
I know.
Those are all DVDs mostly. DVDs
what about
and
up on the
CDs.
top of the wall, along the border?
Up on top of the wall.
You know.
That, like right there, that shelf?
No, those pictures.
No,
what the hell is that?
No.
The very top.
Very top.
This?
Yes, those. Records?
That's wallpaper. That's wallpaper border.
Oh my God!
It looks
I
like
don't know what
pictures.
it is, but
Yeah.
you need.
It's very
wallpaper
cluttering.
border.
Yeah, you
Okay.
need to rip that shit that stuff out of there.
Oh,
Get rid
you
of
said a
that.
bad word.
Are there what is it? Is it pictures of bears? What I can't tell.
No, it's the. Have you ever seen the Norman Rockwell baseball series? It's those.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
One
That's
after the other.
that's a prime example. That needs to go. You're not going to be able to sell
It's
that
wallpaper.
house. You're not going to be able to sell that with that in there. What do you do about first edition books? I've got a bunch of first editions.
Oh, you gotta keep those, right?
I know.
Yeah.
But for what purpose? I've read them all.
But then I look at books and I'm like, that's one of my favorite books. I read it and I look at it and I go, God, that was a good book.
I know. It's impossible to get rid of them.
I had every book that Hunter Thompson had written, first edition hardcover. I had every single one. And times were tough about 10 years ago, and I was desperate, and I sold them off. And I'm still to this day very, very disappointed in myself for doing that.
I hate that.
I had Hell's Angels hardcover, first edition.
Yeah.
I sold it. What a jackass.
Who was the crazy lady on, it was a Netflix craze a few years ago. She basically told us to walk around our places, and if it doesn't bring us joy instantly, we ditch it.
Oh, yeah.
Marie Kondo or something?
Marie
was that her
Kondo.
name? Yeah.
Yep. That's a great series. I actually did that helped me a lot. Yeah, what's it called? Shoot.
Dawn, you should drive around South Minneapolis and see these people with their garage doors up. You're absolutely right.
Gives
In
me
some
anxiety.
cases, there's so much crap in there. If they can get their car in, they can barely get out of the door. I mean, it's hanging from the rafters and the walls and everywhere.
There's really nothing valuable in my garage I couldn't live without, including my car, which is almost 10 years old. So come take it if you want it.
Oh my gosh! Don't invite people over ever,
So
unless
I
it's
don't
a
know.
hot girl.
Yeah.
Hey,
You just
ladies.
throw it away or
Want to check
sell
out my
it or-
garage?
Oh,
Wow.
In my case, I think what a lot of people do, and this is where I found a lot of my good stuff, is I call them alley finds, where people just drag their crap right to the alley and put a free sign on it, and dummies like me drive up and down the alleys picking that crap
So
up.
this it's not new to me. I know that people do this, but I'm not lying. So I've been a resident of the North Metro now for about a year in the city that I live in. There is junk at so many people's end of their driveway or yard. I've never seen it like this. Is it a city? Is it just a city common practice that we just haul our crap and let other people come and take it? And it's not for like a weekend. I know sometimes cities do it for like, just bring your stuff to the end of the driveway. People will come grab it or we pick it up.
Oh, right.
But that's like a once a year thing. I go for
All the
walks
time.
almost every day. There is crap at the end of numerous driveways
and people
yards.
take it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think this week there were 3 different houses, including mine, on my block where there was stuff at the end of the
It
driveway.
says take it.
Yeah, I had a big bookshelf and a lawn chair from out back. Somebody
Oh,
took
you did it? Oh, you did it yourself. Okay.
I did it, but there were like 2 or 3 other houses on the block with the same thing. So I think it's pretty common up here.
You know how it is in the country, Dawn, with country folks, because they don't throw away that or get rid of they don't call the junkyard for that truck that just died. What do they
you
do
put
with
it in the woods.
Yeah. You put it out in the woods.
That's what my dad, I was like, I hadn't been down in the woods for a while, and I went back there, and I was like, oh my God, what is all this shit? I'm like, Mom, there's a refrigerator back there some toddler could get into. What is this? Look at this junk. Dad was dumping stuff back here. She goes, oh, yeah. And it didn't mind. It's not a huge area, but it's like, oh.
Isn't it fun when they leave a hood up and then a tree grows through it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just think about mice making nests inside things.
I've always wondered how that happens. So that's legitimately what people do. They just haul it off into like a farm field or the woods. I was
just over at my buddy Mike's house, 2 miles down the road,
the woods,
looking for him, and I drove into his pasture thinking he was out there somewhere. He's got a duster and an old square body Chevy, and he's got 3 fish houses, 18 tractors, all sorts of mystery implements.
Yeah.
And there's trees growing through all of them.
They make for great pictures 40 years later.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's, I just never thought we were those kind of people.
Bless you.
I was, bless you, Ross.
Sorry, I tried to conceal that.
Is there a business we could start? Could this be a side hustle done where we just...
junk haulers?
Yeah, but no, it's kind of an intervention. I'm thinking an intervention. Somebody with their garage door up, you go by.
There are people that make a business off of that. They're like clutter organizers.
But here's the deal. Once you call me, you're not allowed to tell me what I can and cannot throw away.
Well, this sounds like an episode of Hoarders.
Thank you. I was just going to say that.
I mean, have you ever watched that? They do that. They're like, what about this? And they're like, oh, but my cat peed on that 4 years ago, and I really love that cat.
That show gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
How about the people that think every little piece of S they own is worth something?
That's Hoarders.
I could get $10 for that on eBay.
Yeah, it's a tough love type of a show where they're like, no, we're throwing it out.
That's why I say they're going to kill themselves. And
they do. They do. They absolutely love this stuff more than yes, they're like, if you throw that away, I'm gonna off myself.
Well, let's put that to the test, I would say.
Be like, bye.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, when should we come back? Because we're hauling it no matter what. We're hauling it now or later. So what do you want to do?
That's why I've always wanted to do a swap party show on AM radio. And they're usually right at noon every day. They're 30 minutes to an hour where old farts call up and, I got this rake here with a broken handle. I'll take $3 for it.
Kenny, I think we should do one half of a Crabby Coffee Shop. We should somehow just open up these phone lines, give out the numbers beforehand, and let people call up with their stuff.
Dawn, we did it at the state.
Get rid of my stuff.
Yeah, we did it with the state fair with Dawn.
That's right.
But we kind of forced it on them. We really didn't give them any choice.
We did. We're like, oh, great, you get to have this.
The old woman who took your bra carrier or whatever that was, that's a top 10 moment of my life. Because she's just like, oh, this is so great. I'm going to give it to my daughter.
Yeah, it was a quiz, something about Christina Aguilera. She's like, I was there at the concert. I was there. I go, great, this is perfect for you.
And you had some aside that I didn't hear clearly when I was sitting there next to you, but when I listened back to the show, it was something about my boulder holder won't fit in that thing or something like that. It was hilarious.
My bras do not fit in that little case.
I'm going to need some Samsonite luggage here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Well, that's another big fallacy, garage sales and yard sales. You go through all that work, you price it out what you think is fair, and a quarter of it sells.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Then what do you do?
I love going to garage sales, but people have so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's always the hope that you're going to find something that's worth a lot, that you're like,
I don't need a keychain,
Yeah.
The other bad thing about garage sales the last couple of years, like Kenny said, everybody thinks their stuff is worth so much. So you got stuff 5 years ago you could buy for 50 cents. People want $5 for it. Now it's like, no, I'm not giving you $5 for this. You crazy?
I have something in my bag right now that I bought at a garage sale.
I'm going to go get something. I got to show you something. Keep going, Dawn.
Oh, my God. Okay. Anyway, it's Conan O'Brien and the Writers of Late Night in the year 2000. Remember that bit that he did? 2000. They would do predictions and wear like a hat. And these are really inappropriate. Like you can't half of these you can't say anymore.
Oh,
seriously.
It's a book?
It's Conan O'Brien, remember, in the year 2000.
Yeah.
And he would wear like a turban and do predictions.
Yeah.
They're so inappropriate and like not PC anymore at all.
We're not as smart as we used to be. Or no.
Oh my God, here's one that I'll say.
Okay.
In the year 2000, time travel will become a reality, allowing Michael Jackson to travel back to 1965 and take a nap with himself.
That's pretty funny, actually.
And then it shows a picture of big Michael Jackson and little Michael Jackson.
Let's put a price on this. John, you might remember this from the 70s. Dawn, I don't blame you if you don't.
Oh, what is that?
It's an upside-down glass with an upside-down 7-Up logo.
That's cool.
On the back it says, the Uncola.
Yeah.
Number one, are they rare? And if they are, how much are they worth? And number 3 and 4, if I had a garage sale, I'd put 10 cents on this thing. Just get this piece of S out of my life.
eBay.
I was just going to
say. That's what I'm doing, actually.
Yeah, John, you do it. I'm lazy.
We're just going to sit and wait.
I'm going to guess that's selling for a reasonable price.
No, under
probably
$5.
No, it's
under
we got
$5.
$3, $3, $4.98, $7.45, $7.85.
I mean, just the
two
trouble.
of them for $20.
Just the trouble of packaging it up and sending it off somewhere is so tedious.
You know what? I have a hammer in here somewhere.
Are you gonna clunk yourself on the head so we can end the podcast early?
Should I break it?
Break the hammer?
No, the glass.
Break the glass.
Oh, you are gonna destroy it live, but
I'm tempted.
taped.
Should I? No, I'd probably end up cutting an artery and bleeding out.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
Don't do that, because then we don't know how to get a hold of you because of the stupid IT situation.
Next week.
Why did you remind me?
Next week, we should all bring a crummy item to the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it on the podcast, and let's see if we can sell the items, and then I will ship them out, and we'll give the $8 that we earned to one of Kenny's favorite charities.
Here's the deal, Ross. You're already doing, 10 podcasts a week, and you're middle management already. Do you want to invite this kind of extra work?
I think
you don't have time to do what you're supposed to do anyway.
Well, that's very fair. Thank you. And if you're listening, Dan Seaman, please hear what Kenny has to say.
Get in line.
No, but I'm all for raising a little bit of money for charity, even if it's only like $20. So I think
that's nice of you.
I think it would be kind of fun.
Here's the deal: if it's not significant, the money's going right in my pocket. I'm not going to go through all that effort.
Yeah.
No, they can transfer the money to me, and I will turn it to the charity with receipts.
How about if
Dawn? Don, your book in the year 2000.
Yeah.
On eBay, $5.
Oh, all right. I actually just won it.
Look up Hell's Angels first edition, Hunter S. Thompson. I think it was
that's going to be a lot.
64 or
Don't
something
do this
like
to
that.
yourself. You sold it already.
Yeah. And I sold it to a bookstore on Lake Street in Uptown, and they just screwed me.
Oh, what did they give you?
Not enough.
Jeez. Yikes. I'm not going to tell you. Did you still have the picture, the cover with the guy in the leather?
The jacket cover was in perfect condition. Don't tell me it's over 100.
Come on, just tell us.
Well,
so we don't have to look it up.
The cheapest one here, Kenny, with the cover, not in great shape, is $399.
Son of a bitch.
And you had all of them?
Here's one for $1,195. And here's one for $2,500.
Whoa!
We have an S-bomb and a B-bomb on this podcast.
And then his next book was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I had that hardcover with the jacket. And then Campaign Trail, I had that. Curse of Wano, and there's a few other. I don't remember all of them, but I had all of them. Everything he had ever done. Yeah,
you could probably buy a car, like a $5,000 car or something.
Okay, we got to do it.
Fear and Loathing, $450, $750, $490, $299 is the cheapest one, and that one looks beat to hell. So.
I one time brought, and I'm not joking, but I didn't care because I just kind of what you were talking about earlier. I just wanted to get rid of stuff. I once brought like 300 DVDs to a place that bought DVDs, and I knew I wouldn't get a lot.
Yeah.
But even the number that they offered me was so low, I laughed out loud and just said, "Fine, take them."
Yeah.
But it was like for like 300 DVDs, they literally wanted to give me like $18.40, and I'm like, I don't need them, take them. But that's hilarious.
There's a moral there, Ross. Just throw that crap away. Because you're just creating extra work. You're driving there. You're carting them into your car, out of your car, and then it's the emotional turmoil because you think you're going to get $100 for all this stuff, and they break your heart.
Well, turn them into some type of a. Like, go live in Santa Fe and have a junk house and use them as, like, wind chimes. Just put them everywhere, reflective surfaces,
That's
those people.
That's what a guy needs is an extra house just filled with crap.
Or just made of crap.
Made of crap.
These are your new solar panels. That's what they are.
One thing I have
They're your roof.
Yeah, can we do that? Melt them down and make them solar panels. Sorry, Kenny, what?
I have way too many shotgun shells that I'll never ever use. I don't know how I got them, but for the main like deer rifle that I use and my main guns, I don't have enough shells.
Right.
So it's just one of these things, and the reason I bring this up is because it's been the last 2 weeks up here in the country, people have been sighting in their rifles, getting ready for deer season. And they're going through ammo like crazy. And I sighted in 3 different rifles last weekend. And I bet you I used over 10, 15 rounds in each one. And now I have all these shotgun shells, but I don't have enough ammo to go out hunting. So what I need to do, here it comes, I need to go to DK Mags on Old 8. And
Well played.
Oh, my gosh. Tell us about it.
He's a professional, ladies and gentlemen.
If I were wearing a hat, I would tip it to you right now.
I did take the long road, but the point is, if you did the same thing, stop into DK Mags, Old 8, New Brighton, and get restocked before the big opener this weekend. And if you've acquired recently, maybe your grandpa's rifle, your grandma's rifle, or your uncle's purse gun, they can also work on those for you. Both places have gunsmithing services. They can make sure they're in perfect working order before you try them out. And one more thing here, if you think you're an expert in the world of firearms and accessories and you need a side gig or a main gig, get a hold of them. They're hiring good people. They've got a great selection, fair prices, and a wonderful staff, both at Monticello Pawn and Gun and DK Mags in New Brighton. They're on the web, too, dkmags.com. All right, this most famous names thing really caught my attention. Ross sent this story, I think, right?
I did.
Yes, he did.
And I'm bitter about my list, by the way.
Oh.
So it's a website, basically, where you enter just your first name, and you get a list of famous people with your name. Obviously, there's a million Kennys, but the one I really wanted to see so I could make fun of me was Kenny Olson, the guitar player for Kid Rock. He's not.
That's right.
He's not listed at all. Is he any good, John?
He's not. Yeah, he's not a bad player. Yeah,
not bad. But I am kind of
played with somebody else, but
right. I'm kind of wondering about Ross and Dawn. Ross, are there famous people with your name?
I'll have to pull my list back up again for a complete list, but number one for me, I'm okay with it. It's just not a very exciting one. Is Ross Perot. And all my charts.
That dog don't hunt.
And then I think Ross Geller from Friends, who's not even real, and he ruined the name Ross. So I was very bitter about that.
Oh,
and
no.
Betsy Ross. There's 3 of them.
But
Yeah.
Betsy, well, Ross is her last name.
Hello?
Somebody's calling for that glass.
Gotta tell you, it's just nonstop here.
Mine is
it's IT department.
No, it's IT. Hello, IT department.
I can only think of one with your name, Dawn. Dawn Wells.
Don Wells. You've got
Don Wells, yeah.
Tony Orlando and Dawn, which
But that's
were
two
girls.
Dawns.
Yeah, and then Dawn French is the number one, most
that?
famous. She's a
Dawn
British
French.
comedian. She's been on just so many British shows. Yeah.
I had 2 girlfriends as a kid named Dawn.
Yeah.
One I don't think was a girlfriend. I was just in love with her. I think I was in 4th grade.
Oh.
And then the other one in high school, and that was more of a friend thing than anything.
Okay.
But I haven't
Seems
known.
vague.
This made me. Oh, sorry, Kenny. This made me
I'm
laugh.
friends with her husband and her son, so it's weird talking about it.
That is weird.
Okay.
So Ross Perot's my most famous. He's number 1, and they even put there's a fame meter. So Ross Perot is my most famous, and out of 100, his fame meter is only a 22.
Out of and what's the number
Mine's
1?
7%.
It goes up to 100. But what it's basically saying is the most famous person with your name is Ross Perot. But on the 1 to 100 meter of fame, he's only a 22.
Mine's 7.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Oh,
Johnny, you got to have the most famous people.
I got
right?
100 out of 100, baby.
Yeah, John Lennon.
Must be
John
rough.
Kennedy. John Kennedy's number 100 of 100. Then John Lennon is number 6.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
What about
Pope
the
John
others
Paul.
in between? Oh, yeah, that guy.
Now, I didn't know this. Number 3 is J.R. Tolkien. I didn't know his first name was John.
Oh.
I was unaware.
wait a minute. I thought that was a girl.
Me too.
Excuse me?
What? You've never seen his picture?
Oh,
Lord
you
of the
don't-
Rings author.
No, I'm thinking of who J.K. Rowling,
Oh,
who wrote
yeah.
Harry Potter. I think
That's what you're thinking of, Kenny, right?
Oh, I thought they were the same person. Hell, I don't know.
Yeah, they're both overrated books. So.
jeez.
All right. I
What a
got to
series.
This is not I gotta go too.
I gotta go.
Me too.
Really? You
John
two are
the
that
Baptist.
offended? John the Baptist?
John the Baptist.
Oh,
What's his ranking? Where's he?
Yeah,
from?
All of
where's he
mine-
rank?
you know
What's
what?
he rank?
All of my-
Is he better
my
than the
first-
Pope?
Yeah.
My first 7, 8 are 100%. John Paul, Tolkien, John the Baptist, John McCain, John Lennon, and John Kerry.
Huh.
John
In
Kerry's
that order.
100.
All 100%.
You would think
yeah.
John
What about John the
Baptist.
Baptist?
Yeah, you'd think he'd be number 1, wouldn't he?
Yeah, St. John the Baptist. What's
Take
his
a guess who.
ranking?
Take a guess who my number 1 is.
Boy,
You gotta
that
get it.
Ken, huh? Really?
On a road going nowhere.
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah,
Kenny
yeah,
Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who I couldn't stand as an old man, but he was really a pot smoking maniac as a kid.
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
he?
Very
No.
good bass player, too, which a lot of people don't know.
Really?
There's a
Kenny,
no
great
idea.
clip of him and Dudley Moore on The Tonight Show playing jazz, and he's playing stand-up bass just wonderfully.
Kenny, does yours list Kenny Rogers, the musician, and Kenny Rogers, the baseball pitcher?
Oh, there's a
he on
baseball
there?
pitcher? I
Yeah.
didn't.
Kenny Rogers was an okay chucker, wasn't he?
He was a lefty. Twins had him briefly. He
Yeah.
wasn't. He was kind of a goofball, though. He had
Yeah.
some issues with management, that kind of thing.
John,
So
Probably won a couple hundred games, though, didn't he, in his career?
I don't mean to
no,
change the
no, no,
subject,
no.
but
what's
back
he
to
doing
your
this
shelf.
weekend, Joe?
Back to your shelf.
Back to what's in the
Yes.
background. Is that a Sesame Street barn playhouse in the
No.
background there? That looks
Right
like a
here?
Sesame Street thing. Yeah.
Here, watch this. You ready?
Yeah.
See, it's do you know what Scentsy is? The odor thing.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
it's a
that's-
Scentsy.
It's a
That's a
Scentsy
prime
thing.
example of something that needs to be thrown out in the backwoods, right there.
Well, here's the deal. Let me tell you what. See, okay,
your
I
wife
don't want to
sells
get.
it.
Thank you very much, Dawn. Dawn hit it right on the nose.
Yep.
She sells it, so if she thinks I should have something, I get it.
I
No.
take back everything I just said. I
Yeah.
want to retract that earlier statement.
People make a lot of money doing Scentsy.
Yeah, she
thought
does
about
all right.
getting it.
She just enjoy. It's a really nice hobby for her,
Yeah.
aside from her job.
Bow to your sensei.
You sensei. They need to make a sensei sensei. That's like a.
You know what? I think you guys are right. I think you're onto something here.
I need to do a comedy skit called Sensei Sensei.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Brace yourself. Kenny Chesney, Kenny G, Kenny Loggins, Kenny Burrell, Kenny Clark,
Kenny Burrell.
Kenny Dorman, Kenny Wheeler, Kenny Smith, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Kenny Garrett,
They're all musicians.
Yeah, they
What
are.
the
Kenny
hell?
Aronoff, Kenny Barron,
Kenny Arnold's a wonderful drummer.
Kenny Wallace, stock car driver, Kenny Perry, don't know him, and Kenny King, a wrestler.
I don't know why,
Gosh.
but Kenny Wayne Shepherd's Blue on Black is such a great jam that anytime I hear his name, I get a little giddy. I just love that jam.
John, do you agree?
I like some of his stuff, but when he first started his career and was such a blatant ripoff of Stevie Ray Vaughan, it drove me crazy.
There you go.
But he grew out of that though.
Mm-hmm. I was working at a classic rock station when all of that went down, and people were upset.
Well, it was so obvious. Yeah. But he changed as he grew. He grew.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
Thank you. As he grew,
Hey, now.
he grew.
He grew.
I have to admit something. Even though I'm super crabby today, I was briefly put in a very good mood with a story that Dawn sent me, and we don't have to read them all.
Oh, yeah.
But they're pretty damn funny. And Ross, if you could link this on the show description today.
Yes, I will.
Because I think this will make a lot of people happy. 114 funny test answers that deserve an A+ for humor. And it's just kids being kids, answering serious questions in their own crazy way. And I'm trying to...
Suggest one cause of deforestation. And they wrote this paper.
Short answer number 5. You get 10 points for this one. Provide an example of risk. No.
Yeah, that's great. That is a risk to say no. Oh, man. Oh, God. What's another good one?
Finish the sentence. If I had the principal's job, I would quit and get a job I enjoy. Motivate your answer. Go, answer, go.
Right. Oh, my gosh. This is a little bit longer, but let's see. It was like famous little phrases. I don't know what this is. Proverbs. Don't bite the hand back. They wrote, not that feeds you. That was the answer. Don't look a gift horse to me. When the cat's away, you will pay. Yeah. People in glass houses are rich.
Yes.
Yep.
If first you don't succeed, try again. They got that right. Don't count your chickens because they need privacy. Don't put all your eggs in there. It's all Greek language. Oh, this is my favorite one at the end. It's all fun and games until Darth Vader comes.
What ended in 1896?
Oh, this is good.
1895.
Yes.
You know, the kid was thinking, what a stupid question.
Oh, God, this one I got to do. Alice places a prepared slide on her microscope, but when she looks into it, she can't see anything. Suggest one reason why not. She is blind.
And the next one down from there, Don, number 10. Write a question using why. Why? The answer.
That's my favorite one.
Yes. Gosh, there's so many. You're just going to enjoy. If you're in a bad mood, oh my gosh. There's so many.
Rachel has 16 chocolate bars. Tracy takes 4 from her and asks for the remaining quarter. What would she end up with? A slap.
Oh, God. I used to grade papers for some company that was it's like standardized testing or something.
Yeah.
And we would get an entire state's worth. And this was at Mall of America. They used the old Macy's or something.
I remember when you were doing this.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of because I have a master's degree, I got paid more than other people.
Right.
Which I'm like, yeah, I'll take whatever it was, $28 an hour. So I would go over there in the afternoons, and we would get different states, and you could tell, we got Connecticut, today. And then the day we got Kentucky was like, you guys.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. It was so sad. It was like I felt really bad, but at the same time, I was kind of going through and laughing at some of the answers.
So were you able to use the red pen? I've always wanted to wield the red pen.
It was kind of more like it wasn't that because it was online. It was digital.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
I think.
New show segment, or at least drop, jobs that Dawn had.
Yeah. Oh my God, you guys! I don't even remember until something comes up, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I was a secret shopper."
Yes, every podcast she tells us about some new job she once held.
It's hard out there for a pimp.
Pimping ain't easy.
Yeah.
What were the first jobs in high school?
Well, I wasn't allowed to have a job in high school because my parents wanted me to focus on studying.
So you sold drugs
So
instead.
you
I got pregnant. Yeah.
Sorry, I stole your punchline. I'm sorry.
Oh boy. No. But my first job was place. We'll just let that settle a little bit. The first place I worked was called, and I got sexually harassed there really bad by the owners and their son. Like, it was my first job. I was 18.
We've talked about this. My offer still stands. If you know where they're at, I will drive down to Missouri and I will key their cars. I will slash their tires.
Well, now that I've said the actual business, unless you can bleep it out.
Things could take a really dour turn
I can take it out
here.
if you need me to.
That happens a lot, doesn't it, to females?
Totally.
I had no idea.
Oh, I mean,
until this
yeah.
My Too thing started. I had no idea. It's like every female that walks the earth has been sexually harassed in her workplace.
Yes, the Me Too movement instead the My Too movement.
Yeah, not the My Too movement.
Did I say My Too?
That was a dental plan we had, the My Too.
The other thing with females, Dawn can back me up on this, I'm sure, that I never would have even thought of until I got married is my wife is very smart and has always had good jobs, but all the men who work above her or at her level just poo-poo everything she says. Everything. Just because it has nothing to do with her thought process or what's going on, just because she's a female.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's like an old cartoon bit where Daphne will come up with the answer and Fred will say, "No, that's not a good idea," and then he'll just repeat what she just said.
Yes. You know, my boss at My Talk is really good at combating these things, and I love to hear her stories.
Yeah,
like she was in a meeting, and it was, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, and one of the administrative assistants had gone off to do another job, and so the next meeting they just said, "Amy, will you take notes?" She was the only woman in the room.
Oh, really?
She was going to do that, and she goes, "No." Why?
My favorite Amy story is she's been in radio most of her life, and she worked for that rat's ass guy that was in Howard Stern's boss in the movie. What was his name?
Oh my gosh!
Rat face or rat's ass or pig face, pig vomit.
Pig vomit. There you go. Vomit. You got there.
And Pig vomit says to her, "I don't know, just be more like Elaine."
Yeah.
Yes.
Her boss told her to be like Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Well,
because she kind of looks like her.
Well, kind of,
and
but
she's sardonic.
Yeah, but Amy is Amy.
Right.
She doesn't need to be like
just
anybody else.
More like Elaine.
She's like, Amy is like Amy, and she doesn't need to be like anybody else.
Exactly.
The worst thing,
she's the only one.
The worst thing you can do to anybody in this business or in general is tell somebody to be somebody different. You are who you are, and that's not going to change.
Right. If that were true, boy, I'd provide you with a list. I mean, seriously, Ross, where do I start? Just don't be like Reavers. That's the only thing I've ever said.
I can't tell you, but my whole radio career has been based on change yourself, adjust yourself, change daily.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, we would have air checks and stuff. Ross isn't looking at me now.
Sorry.
I just answered his question, and he's telling us to rap. So I'm telling you, I'm going to be myself right now and say that I find that to be incredibly rude.
I'm totally doing what you talked about, Dawn Talks. I'm just dismissing her.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Hey, let's wrap her up here.
You know what? And I've probably said this before, and probably when you were gone, it was either surgery or you were in Europe.
Yeah.
If I was a program director in this country, I would hire you for whatever day part you want, and I would say, I don't know, just do whatever you do. And that's the only input I would give you. Just be yourself, have fun, and if this doesn't work in a year, you're fired. You got to
for sure.
You got to say something mean.
If we're all doing the feel-good things, I think I've already
don't we
done
have to
this.
wrap?
But yeah, we're going to wrap it up once I get my feel-good stuff.
You know what? Let's all give them the wrap.
Everybody,
Let's go, Ross. We're done here.
This show continues to be the highlight of my week, so thanks for having me along for the ride.
I totally agree, because this is the one place that I can totally be myself.
Even when I fire up the mic and the first thing I hear from Kenny is, "Shut up, I can't talk to you, I need to prep," or something like that.
I think John and I have a different thought about doing this show.
No, I love doing this show.
I can't wait till I reinforce management's opinion that we should be doing this show every day.
It's definitely time to go now. We're
and I'm not turning
turning
down the heat, so don't even think about it.
What did we talk about today?
You got 6 seconds.
Stuff.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, stay crabby, guys.
Thanks for listening to News from the Crabby Coffee Shop. New episodes drop every week wherever you get your podcasts.